$75,000 a year. That was her definition of doing well. But that doesn't mean that she's doing well. That means that she went to college and got a job that pays her a decent salary. But that does not mean that she actually has a positive net worth. That does not mean that she's financially secure. That does not mean that she's happy with her life. That does not mean that her wealth is diversified. So really, when you talk about somebody doing well, it's very important to start at the very least to make sure we all understand what the goal is, right? The goal at the end of the day is having a positive net worth. A positive net worth means one basic thing. It means that the amount that you own exceeds in value the amount that you owe. It means that your assets exceed your liabilities. If your liabilities are greater than your assets, then that's like being in a basketball game where you're losing by 20 points and you're trying to catch up before the buzzer runs out. Okay. And it doesn't mean losing the game does not necessarily mean that you can't win. Sometimes you take a step backwards so you can take 2 or 3 steps forward. But what happens, unfortunately, for many of us educated Negroes, many of us who went to college and got all these degrees and everything, is that we take a few steps backward and don't take any steps forward. We take a few steps backward, go deep in debt, get a bachelor's degree, then go get a job, and then say, look, mama, I made it. But you haven't made it yet. You're still $150,000 in debt. So from a net worth standpoint, you haven't made it. But from a swaggadocious standpoint, from a clout standpoint, maybe you have, right? So from a clout chasing standpoint, you're doing great because you're driving a Lincoln Navigator and you live in a nice neighborhood. But from a net worth, generational wealth standpoint, there's still a lot of catching up to do.